Welcome to the Money Growth Program. My name is Chase Harris. First and foremost, thank you for being a member and being part of Urban Money. Without you, I do not exist, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that. Sit back, relax, take some notes. You are going to learn some very, very important information when it comes to how to grow your money, and one of the best financial instruments that you can use to do that. And this is what the Urban Money Growth Program is all about. So just to give you a little background, again, about myself, if you don't know already, I have 2 finance degrees. I got my bachelor's from Southern Illinois University, and then my master's, my MBA in finance from CTU. Have several partnerships with radio stations here in Chicago, and then obviously founder of Urban Money. And what I want to speak about before we go into the Money Growth Program is spending versus building. Again, spending versus building. So purchasing instruments or things that actually appreciate in value. So one thing that I always say, we can take $1 and turn it into 15 cents today. We don't need any special training. We don't need anybody to help us. If I said, hey, take this $1, make it 15 cents, you would do it. We can do that, all right? Now, on the other hand, if I said, take this $1, turn it into 3, take this $1, turn it into 5, then that's where we struggle. So we have spending down pat, but we don't understand how to build with our money. And that's something that Urban Money and then our Money Growth Program is going to help stop. So what is the reality? Our community we spend $1.3 trillion a year. If you don't know what a trillion is, that's million with a T, all right? That's a joke, I'm being sarcastic. But $1.3 trillion. In order to spend $1.3 trillion, you have to make $1.3 trillion. And if you make $1.3 trillion, how is it that the average family is only worth $11,000? That makes absolutely no sense. So what does that tell me? Making money is not our issue. We make money. Obviously, we spend $1.3 trillion a year. Our issue is building with money. We don't know how to build. And as long as we don't know how to build, we'll always be at the bottom of the barrel. All right? Now, I challenge you to ask or answer this question. All right? Before you received your high school diploma, or even if you're currently in high school, all right, do you or did you have an investment portfolio or retirement plan started at that young of an age? All right. If you're like me, the answer is no. All right. However, I'm willing to bet you had a savings account. All right. Now, most people do not understand, 1, what the purpose of a savings account is, and 2, how it actually works. All right. A savings account is nothing more than an emergency fund. That's it. It is not meant to grow you money. Let me repeat that. It is not meant for your money to grow. If you're lucky enough, you would get a 0.03% on a savings account. And if you're looking at this current slide, that means that $100 will make you 3 cents. All right. That's on a monthly basis. $1,000 is going to make you 30 cents on a monthly basis. $10,000 will make you $3 on a monthly basis. As you can see by those examples, I don't know if you can ball out on 3 cents or 30 cents or $3 per month. All right. Again, this is not a way to grow money. Now, ask yourself this question. What is the number one financial tool that we use as a community to grow money? Take a wild guess. Savings accounts. All right. Now, I'll take it a step further. A savings account is actually losing you money. You may ask yourself, how is that even possible? How can I lose money when I put my money in there? I can see it, I can touch it anytime I want. Let's think about it. If you're getting 0.03% on your money, but the rate of inflation is between, let's just say 1% or 3%, then you're losing money. So think about it. Is the cost of living comparable, or is it the same to what it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago? So your money has to grow at a rate that beats inflation, or you are actually losing money. So you have to think about the long term. You also have to think about the pace that the United States is on when it comes to what the dollar is worth and what the dollar can buy today versus last year or the year before that, so on and so forth. So your money has to beat the rate of inflation. And with the savings account, it is impossible. So in the long term, you're actually losing money if this is the account that you're using to grow money. So securing your financial future. So the Urban Money Growth Program revolves around a financial instrument called the IUL. IUL stands for Indexed Universal Life. Let me say that again. Indexed Universal Life. And this is one of the best ways, not the only way, but one of the best ways to grow your money, compound interest in a secure way. Now, what is compound interest and how does it work? Let's go back to that savings account example. A savings account has what you call simple interest, all right? Simple interest. Simple interest is defined as the money you start the account with gains interest, but what you put in there month after month after month after month does not. So what I'm telling you is you can start a savings account for $100. That's going to gain interest, and in 5 months you come in and put 20,000 in. The 20,000 is going to sit there. It's not going to gain any interest, and even if it did, it's only 0.03%. So it's not going to make any noise, as you've seen in the example before. However, compound interest works totally different. All right. Compound interest is when your interest makes interest. Let me say that again. Compound interest is when your interest makes interest. So the best visual that I can give you for compound interest is, remember like those old school cartoons where the snowball was at the top of the mountain and it was very, very small, but as it came down the mountain and it gained momentum, it got very, very big. That's compound interest. So it takes time. This is not a short-term investment. This is long-term. All right. So we're talking 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Now, let me stop there. You may say 10, 15, 20 years down the road. I mean, that's a mighty long time for my money to grow. Well, let me ask you this question. Do you plan to be alive in 10, 15, 20 years? I'm going to assume the answer is yes. Are you going to have bills in 10, 15, 20 years? I'm going to assume the answer is yes. Then odds are you're probably going to need some money in 10, 15, 20 years. All right. So foresight, have some foresight about where you want to be financially in 10, 15, 20 years. It's very important to have that. All right. Most people who don't have that or don't prepare for that years in advance end up getting, especially towards retirement, they realize that they don't have enough money. And what ends up happening is what? I like to call it semi-retired. They're retired, but they have a part-time job. No, you're not retired. You're just working. All right. Because you don't have enough money to enjoy retirement. So think about it this way. If you shop at Walmart, who's the first person you see at Walmart? It's the greeter. Is the greeter young? Is the greeter in their 20s? No, the greeter is typically 60, 70, 80 years old. Why is someone working 8 hours a day at that age? Because they didn't have the foresight to see financially where they were going to be 15, 20 years down the road. All right. So again, compound interest is very, very important in order to grow your money. Number 2, tax advantages. So not only does your money grow tax-free, you have the ability to withdraw your money tax-free. Yep, I said it. Not only does your money grow tax-free, you have the ability to withdraw your money tax-free. So let me explain. Have you ever considered why wealthy politicians never want to release tax returns? Like when they are going for an election, one of the things they hate bringing up is tax returns, and they rarely really want to ever release them, right? It's always a hiccup. Well, what is it that they're doing that they don't want the public to know? What is it that they're doing legally that they don't want the public to know? That will come across, it will probably lose them votes if people understood what they were doing with taxes. So let's just say this. Who wrote the tax code? Was it poor people or wealthy people? I'm going to assume it was wealthy people. These wealthy people, were they employees or did they own their own businesses? Odds are they own their own businesses. So let's think like a wealthy person that owns a business and has the ability to write law. I'm not going to write a tax code that implicates who? Myself. So this is how this game is played. Let's take, for instance, um, Mitt Romney. All right. When Mitt Romney ran against President Obama, one of the biggest things he did not want to do was release his tax returns. And here's the reason why. Someone like him, who owns an investment firm, lives a very lavish lifestyle, makes a lot of money. All right. Do not want to W-2 themselves a salary. So he's not going to W-2 himself $5 or $10 million a year, because we already know the taxes on that is crazy. So someone in his position, instead of W-2ing himself a salary, what someone like him would do is actually take out a $2 million or $3 million loan to live off of. All right. Now, why would he do that? Instead of W-2ing himself for $3 million or $5 million, he would take out a loan for $3 million or $5 million to live off of and use his company as collateral to secure the loan. Why? Because loans don't pay taxes. So this is how they're able to get their money tax-free. All right. So I say all that to say the IUL allows you to do the same thing. So we know with any security, right? If you took the cashing out class or any other investment class in Urban Money, then you understand that anything that falls under the security umbrella will be declared as income. And if it's declared as income, it has to be taxed, right? Okay. In the IUL, your accumulation does not have to be defined as income. You can actually loan yourself your accumulation. And this is how you're able to get your money tax free. Does that make sense? You just learned something that 95% of people in this country do not know. This leads us to step 3. Your money is 100% secured. You cannot lose what you invest. So if you have a checking account, when you started your checking account, they told you that your money in your checking account is insured up to $250,000. Well, insured by who? The FDIC. What is the FDIC? That is a federal insurance company. All right. It's very important for you to understand this. That is a federal insurance company. Well, why bring that up? The only way in this country to guarantee money is to attach insurance to it. Let me say that again. The only way to guarantee money is to attach insurance to it. So the IUL works the same way as the checking account, is that it's attached to insurance. So it falls under the insurance umbrella. All right. It mimics and security this way. The I stands for index. So the way that your interest is determined is by the performance of an index, such as a Bloomberg index or S&P 500. There's many indexes, but let's just say those two. So the interest that you receive is going to be between 0 and probably 14 to 15%. Those are your caps. All right. So you would never go below 0. You would never go higher than 15%. And this is based on the performance of the S&P 500 or a similar index. So this means that if the S&P 500 is at 7%, you would get 7, so on and so forth. All right. So that's how it works as a security. This is where your compound interest comes from. However, with this being under the insurance umbrella, this safeguards your money, so you can never lose your investment. All right. So if we go back down memory lane, back in 2008, those who had securities or 401ks, any type of retirement plan, what happened that year? And this probably happened to you. You lost a lot of money. All right. And that's money that you don't get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. Those who had IULs, guess how much they lost? 0. Did not lose a dime, because their money is secured and protected through insurance. All right. Now, it's very important to understand, probably didn't make a lot of money that year either. However, did they lose anything? Absolutely not. And that's what's very important to understand. So yes, the IUL falls under the insurance umbrella. It is an insurance product. However, you use the IUL to grow your money tax-free, grow a compound interest, and make sure you cannot lose it. Which leads us to the next point. Who created the IUL? If you look at the benefits, I think it's very clear to see. Wealthy people. All right. It was created in the 1980s for one reason and one reason only: to hedge validity against the stock market. All right. Just like any market, whether it's the stock market, real estate, goes up and down, right? Depending on what side you're on, you either made a lot of money or you lost a lot of money, right? Well, in the 80s, a lot of wealthy people lost a lot of money, all right? And they wanted to create a product that mimics the stock market, but takes away the validity of the stock market, all right? So what wealthy people call the IUL, this is their for sure money, all right? I know that I cannot lose this money. However, money that I'll put in the stock market, money that I'll put into real estate, things of that nature, I understand that that comes with the risk. I can lose that money. However, this money is my for sure money. So what the IUL is, this does not replace your investment portfolio, all right? This is just an added piece for protection. So the way that I look at the IUL is like this. It's not the entire puzzle, but it's a very important piece to have. All right. Again, you should still have your investment portfolio. You should still have those things, but understand that I know if anything happens, I know that this money is going to be there. This is my for sure money. All right. Now, for those of you who have 401ks, it's probably a few things that you don't know about 401ks. So we're going to go over those. I want you to consider this. 95% of companies in this country offer one retirement plan, with the exception of those that have unions, all right? If you don't have a union, or you don't work for a school or a police department or anything like that, anything of service, then you probably only have one option. That's called the 401k, right? Well, I'm sure it's not because they love you, all right? Everybody just wants to offer one thing. That's a red flag right there. Number one, 401ks are very fee driven, all right? And what I mean by that is most people don't understand that you have to pay your employer 3 to 4%, typically 3 to 4% of what's in your 401k back to them every year for them to manage it for you. Okay, so let me repeat that again. You're giving 3 to 4% of what's in your 401k back to your employer every year. You notice I didn't say a fee, I said a percentage. All right, that's very important to understand. It's expressed as a percentage because the more money you have in your 401k, the more you have to pay back. So that's why it's not a flat fee. Now you can understand where the concept of we'll match you dollar for dollar come from. Understand that the dollar that they're matching you is imaginary until you actually use the money in your 401k. The dollar that you're putting in is very real. Okay, so this is where that concept came from. The more money that we can get you to invest in your 401k, the more money that you're actually going to pay back to the company based off of that management fee that's expressed as a percentage. Number two, are 401ks guaranteed? Absolutely not. All right. So you're financially vulnerable. Your 401k is not guaranteed. And if you're using this as a retirement plan, this can hurt you, especially if it's your only retirement plan. All right. So putting all of your eggs in one basket is something that's not secure is not a good thing, especially when we watch this quick little video in a second. Now, I'm sure you already know about all the penalties. And if you want to use some of your money, we're going to loan it to you at an interest rate. That makes no sense, by the way. We're going to loan you your money. Another red flag. All right. But let's get past all that. You make it to age 65 and you want to begin living off your distributions, right? Well, we know it falls under the security umbrella, so therefore the money is taxed. So this means during your golden years, who's knocking on the door every month to get a piece of your 401k? Uncle Sam. That's right, the IRS. So it starts to seem like the 401k benefits everybody, but who? Yeah, but you. All right. So again, something to think about, something to consider. I guarantee you this, you will never see a CEO or a wealthy person of a huge company with the 401k. They usually have stock options. All right. Again, something to consider. So we are going to watch a quick video. It's 10 minutes. We're going to watch the first minute or so, but I just want you to check this out.
The effects of the current economic crisis have touched everyone. Even if you still have a good job and a paid up mortgage, chances are your monthly 401k statement will remind you that you've lost a good chunk of your savings. Trillions of dollars have evaporated from those accounts that have become the prime source of retirement funds for a majority of American workers, affecting their psyche and their future. If you're still young enough, there's time to rebuild and recover. But if you're in your 50s or 60s or beyond, the consequences can be dire. And it's drawing attention to the shortcomings of a retirement system that's jeopardized the financial security of tens of millions of people. It was called a career fair, but there was no merriment here, only a whip of desperation. Many of these people had been out of work for months and burned through their liquid asset. Alan Weir, who turned 60 this month, showed us his latest 401k statement, which he hadn't had the courage to open up.
I'm afraid.
You gonna open it now?
You want me to? Let's do it.
There's good reason for his trepidation. Nearly half of his life savings have vanished in a matter of months.
It went down again.
How much you down overall?
Oh, about $140,000.
You think you'll ever get it back?
I would probably never see it come back. I was looking to retire probably when I hit 62. Can't do it now. I'll probably be working until I'm at least 70.
All right, so let's stop it there. You heard a few things in that video. One, this was back in 2008 when the crash happened, but very important lessons that you can learn from that. Number one, all right, this guy worked 30 years, all right, and he had a little bit over $290,000 in his 401k. He was ready to retire, live his golden years, and in 3 months, he lost half. He lost $140,000. All right. Think about that. You work 30 years to build into this retirement plan, and in 3 months, you lose half. All right. Listen, I lose $140,000 out of my retirement plan in 3 months. I'm painting my face like Rambo, and I'm in somebody's banking institution. Somebody got to come talk to me, period. All right. That's not going to work. All right. More importantly, guess who he had to pay 3 or 4% to that year when he lost $140,000? That's right. His employer. That's a slap in the face. And what else did he say? I was looking to retire in 2 years. Now I'll be working well into my 70s. All right. This can happen to anybody. All right. Especially if you have one of these accounts. It's important to understand they are not secured. All right. Let me repeat. They are not secured, and you do not get that money back that you lose. Understand, a 401k is nothing more than a pool of stocks, bonds, commodities. It's a lot of different things depending on what you selected and what your company is offering. All right. That's it. It's no different than having your own investment portfolio. All right. So it comes with risk. All right. It's in that fine print, page 68 that you don't read when you sign up for the 401k. But again, it's important to understand how this works, and it can leave you vulnerable. All right. Again, who's to say when the next crash will happen? All right. But it's usually if you look at the United States, every 25, 35 years. All right. So not sure how old you are when you're watching this, but one thing's for sure, you cannot say you didn't know. All right. All right. So let's talk about some numbers. All right. And in fact, I'll give you a guarantee. All right. And I don't even guarantee things to my wife, but I rarely give guarantees, but I give you a guarantee about the Urban Money Growth Program. And here it is. If you don't write anything else down, or if you don't receive anything else from watching this, receive this, because I guarantee it. Number one, write this down. Number one, I will always look good in a suit. You thought I had something serious to say, didn't you? I like to play around. I like to jump. All right. But seriously, let's look at just some generic numbers of what the IUL actually looks like. All right. Now, this is, again, a generic sheet. Okay. And one thing that we started here in Chicago is saving the first hour of your workday. Okay. Again, saving the first hour of your workday. So if you work, or let's say you make $20 an hour, and we're going to assume you work 20 days out the month, then you should be saving $400 per month. But again, we understand, circumstances happen, children and things of that nature, car notes. So it may be a little hard, but that is a goal that you should set for yourself. Pay yourself first. All right. After all, you didn't get employed or start a business to necessarily pay bills. You did that to pay yourself. All right. Then pay bills. Trust me, they'll be okay. Pay yourself. All right. Something else in regards to the IUL is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Understand that you choose your monthly investment. All right. It can go as low as $30 or $40 per month. It doesn't take a lot of money to invest. That is a myth. Do not believe it. All right. You can start with, $40 or $50 and increase it. You can have multiple IULs. You can have 3, 4, 5 if you want to. All right. It's all about doing what's best for you. And then I will actually help you decide that and help you get your IUL. And I'll discuss that later towards the end of this particular class. But let's just take an example. All right. Let's just say that you are age 29. Okay. And we know that if you save the first hour of your workday, that would be $400. Right. And in 25 years, if you save this every month for 25 years, you would have about $232,000 tax-free that you could withdraw and live off of, right? However, I can't afford $400 right now. I can afford $100. So does this mean you cannot start your IUL? Of course you can start your IUL. We'll start with $100 and we'll work our way up, all right? The biggest thing about your money making money is getting started, all right? I completely understand that there are circumstances and bills and so on and so forth. Everybody has those. All right. Nobody is immune to the trials and tribulations of life. What you will learn, if you are serious about growing your money, you will learn the definition of sacrifice. All right. Sacrifice. If you've taken any of Urban Money classes, especially in the lifestyle plan, one of the assignments is to what? Review your last 3 months bank statements, right? Circle every item that you can deem an unnecessary purchase and divide it by 3. Redirect old money, all right? That's the amount of money that you can begin investing today. So it's not about necessarily finding new money to grow money. How about we look at what you're spending now? Let's redirect money we already have into the right financial instruments so that our money can what? Make money. There you go. So again, this is a 29-year-old female. If we start at 100, all right, we know that we'll have this amount in 25 years, which is significantly different. However, we can start here and work our way up to 400, okay? We can do the same thing for a 40-year-old, all right? We know with $400 per month in 25 years, we have $225,000, but maybe I can't afford that. Maybe I'll start with 200. Maybe I'll start with 100. Maybe I'll start with 50. All right. Again, the biggest thing is getting started. And I'm going to show you how to find out what your numbers are towards the end of this particular class. All right. Now, you may have to question, well, why is this split up male versus female? All right. That's because, again, this falls under the insurance umbrella and males are higher risk than females. So females get a little bit more money than males. Hey, it is what it is. All right. So let's go back to our presentation. So I just spoke about this, getting the maximum benefit, starting small and ending big. So for example, if you wanted to reach 400, but you want to start off with 200, then this means that you would have to increase your monthly contribution by $22.22 per year every month. All right. So your first year be 200, your second year be 222.22, your third year be 244.44, and so on and so forth. All right. I like doing it this way because this forces you to make a financial commitment to yourself. All right. This forces you to be cognizant of how you spend your money and what you spend your money on. Because if we have an end goal of saving $400 per month and investing this $400 per month, then you know that you have to save a certain amount of money per month. So maybe you can't go to this particular party, or maybe you can't get this pair of shoes because you made a commitment to yourself that I'm going to grow this money, right? Because we know buying shoes don't grow money. We know going to a party or to a club doesn't grow money, right? So it forces you again to make a financial commitment to yourself, which I think is superb and awesome. And I can show you how to do that. And we're going to speak about that towards the end of the class as well. All right. Qualifications. You have to be between the ages of 0 to 85 to get an IUL. Why would I say 0? That's right. This means your infant child, a 3-month-old, a 4-month-old, can start their retirement plan. That is powerful. Imagine had your parents knew they could have started you an IUL when you were 4 months old. And let's just say they started it for $40 a month. And let's just say you are 35 right now. This means you would have sat on compound interest tax-free for 35 years, and you're only 35 years old. Do you know how powerful that is? That is, listen, you better pay attention. You can't say you didn't know, all right? Now, for those of you that are older but have children, this is huge because this is, one, how you can begin to generate generational wealth. One of the biggest things that we pass down in our community is what? Debt. We rarely pass down wealth. We, majority of the time, pass down debt, all right? So if you have children, you can start their money savings program now. You don't have to wait for them to become adults. We already understand, had your parents done this for you, if they didn't, how different things would be for you financially. Now, you may have missed the boat with your parents. You can still start one for yourself, but you can definitely put your children in a great financial position. So imagine if everyone did that. We can now shift the paradigm of family debt into family wealth. Does that make sense? That's huge. That is huge. So you can't say you didn't know. If you have children, you should definitely start their money savings program with Urban Money as soon as possible, because it can transform how they're going to live financially. All right. And I'll put the onus on you. All right. If you don't do this, that's on you. Your children, by the time you leave this earth, should be financially secure. All right. Let me give you an example. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and both have IULs. Now, again, I do $250 a month for each. You do not have to go that high. You can start at $30, $40 per month. That's just something that I decided to do. Okay. Both my boys at age 26 will have $156,000 cash that they can use. Why is that important? If they want to start a business, they do not have to go to a bank. If they want to purchase real estate, they do not have to go to a bank. They have the capital to do whatever it is that they want to do at that age. If they don't touch it by age 55, each will have $1.3 million. All right. This is because I started at such a young age for them. So what you'll learn about investing is timing. It's really also about the timing of which you do things. Does that make sense? Good. You must be employed or funded by a family member. All right. Now, I had a family in Chicago that I met with that they started a tradition that I thought was phenomenal, and I'm going to share it with you. All right. If every family adopted this, we would literally shift how much money we have on a family basis, and we would literally get rid of generational debt. So check this out. What they decided to do is every time a new baby is born in their family, the immediate family, so we're talking about aunt, uncle, grandma, mama, big mama, right? Brother, sister, so on and so forth, right? Everybody is, instead of buying toys and all that stuff, everybody is going to pitch in $5 to $10 a month for that new baby's IUL. Imagine that. So if you get 5, 6, 7, 8 people to pitch in $5 to $10 a month for that baby's IUL, by the time that baby turns 21, 31, they will be sitting on some serious cash. Now, if we did that for every baby that's born in the family, I think we would be A-okay. All right. That $5 or $10 a month is not going to hurt anybody. All right. Everybody can give $5 or $10 a month for the new baby born in the family to start their plan. That's how you do it. Timing and unity. We can literally change family debt into family wealth. So again, you see it on the screen. Hindsight versus foresight. Many of us live with hindsight. I wish I would have known. Had I known, I would have did. Oh man, I didn't know. Imagine how much it cost you for what you don't know, right? Instead of using hindsight, because we know it's 2020, let's use foresight. Instead of saying, I wish I did, you can now say, no, I did do that. And the results of me doing that are this. Does that make sense? All right. Now, listen to the wealthy. All right. Not sure if you know who this guy is. He's only worth like 70, 80 billion dollars. That may be chump change to a few of you. But what does Warren Buffett says? Investors should stick with index funds. What's the IUL? Index Universal Life. This is an index fund. All right. So index funds are typically cheaper, more secure, and yield better results financially in the long run. All right. So you don't have to listen to me, but you probably want to listen to somebody that has 70, 80 billion dollars. All right. So this is a streamlined process. All right. How do you get started? It is a one-page application. And this usually takes, the process is about 3 to 4 weeks. I'm going to show you how to get your numbers and applications in a second. All right. Illustration day. Once you and I talk on a one-on-one basis, you will get your personalized IUL numbers via email. And I'm going to show you an example of what that actually looks like. So this is an example of a personalized IUL. Okay. And this is a 26-page document. We are only going to go over 3 pages, which are the most important. Okay. Now, as you can see, it'll have your name on it, your numbers, and all that good stuff. But I want to show you that everything that I said is in black and white. Okay. Now, this particular example is of a 42-year-old woman that is going to do $300 per month, which is $3,600 per year. All right. Now, as I said previously in this video, is that the IUL falls under the insurance umbrella, so it's going to come with insurance. Your insurance is what guards the investment. However, it also protects you, so you're going to get the benefit of insurance as well. Let me be very clear. You do not do the IUL because you just want insurance. If you want insurance, go get life insurance. 2 totally different things, all right? A car and a pickup truck are both vehicles, but they both have 2 totally different purposes, all right? The purpose of, let's just say, whole life insurance or term insurance is to what? Protect you, but the only way that it actually works is if you were to die, right? So it actually protects the person that you name as the beneficiary. It doesn't necessarily protect you, all right? Because in order for you to activate it, you have to die, right? The purpose of the IUL is to help you while you're still here and grow your money, and for you to use the money while you are still here. Okay. Now it's going to come with insurance. So in the event that something happens to you, the beneficiary will receive the full amount of the IUL. All right. However, the purpose of it is for you to enjoy it. All right. Does that make sense? Good. Now, in the event that something was to happen to you, in this particular example, the beneficiary will receive $326,000 tax-free in a lump sum check. As you can see here, tax-deferred cash value. Your money will not be taxed while it grows. Potential for tax-free income, as I said before. Excuse me. You can withdraw your money. You can withdraw your money tax-free by loaning yourself the accumulation, and access to benefits in case of illness. Now, you also get some great benefits that come with the IUL as well. Terminal illness benefit. Let's just say, God forbid, you came down with some type of terminal illness, let's say pancreatic cancer. Well, we know you're not going to be around, no one's trying to, play God, but odds are you're not going to be around for the next 25, 35 years. So what we would do is in your IUL and send you a lump sum check, all right, tax-free. So in this particular example, Crystal would get $276,000, all right? Chronic illness benefit, if you were to have some type of illness that prevented you from working. So whether it was ALS or Parkinson's or something of that nature, then what we would do, we know you need an income. We would, in this particular example, she would get $1,800 per month until this is exhausted. All right, critical injury benefit. You got into an accident, you lost your arms, you lost your legs, you can't work anymore. Again, we know that you wouldn't be able to fund the IUL. So in that particular example, she would get $260,000 lump sum tax free. All right. These are benefits that come with the IUL. So again, added protection. This is not why you would do the IUL, but you do get added protection as well. All right. Now let's get to how the money actually grows. So when you get this email to you, you'll be able to see the same exact thing. And you'll also know exactly, well, not exactly, but roughly how much money you're going to have in any particular year. All right. So this is called an illustration. All right. So this, I'm going to teach you how to read the ledger. And like I said before, I'm going to show you how to get these numbers really after we get done with this. All right. Now, again, this is the year of the IUL. This is the age that Crystal would be in the IUL. We know she's going to invest $3,600 per year, which is $300 per month. And we're going to come to the current illustrated rate. Now, as I said before, your interest is based on the index, whether it be S&P 500, a Bloomberg, many indexes, and I actually choose which index you're going to use. Now, we know that your interest can be between 0 to about 14 to 15%. If you look at the rates here, very modest. All right. So no one is saying that you're going to get 10, 13% every year. We know you're not. Okay. So the interest rate that we use is pretty modest. So odds are, historically, the past 15 years has been 7.46. If you look here, well under that number. So odds are you probably have a little bit more money than what's projected, but I'd rather give you the low ball than the high ball. All right. So accumulated value, this is how much cash you will have in this particular year. Then death benefit, again, this is the insurance portion that also protects the accumulated value, but also protects you, again, if anything was to happen. All right. So what we're going to do is compare the 10th year to the 20th year. Now, keep in mind, as I said before in the beginning, the IUL is a long-term product. All right. This is not short term. So if you're looking for huge returns in the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, this is not it. All right. It will not work for you in that example. However, if you're looking to have your money grow long term over the next 10, 15, 20, 25 years, then this will definitely do that. All right. This is your for sure money. So we know in the 10th year, Crystal is going to have about $30,000. All right. Now, if we compare the 10th year to the 20th year, she's going to have about $104,000. So what did you just see happen in this 10-year gap? The money more than tripled. All right. From year 10 to year 20, it more than tripled. So again, it takes time for compound interest to get rolling. All right. Again, think about that snowball visual where I said before, the snowball is at the top of the mountain. It's very, very small, but as it gains momentum and speed and with time, it gets bigger, bigger, and bigger, right? You can see it clearly now. All right. Now, in the 30th year, she would have $251,000. All right. Now, here's some things to understand. Unlike a IRA, where it's mandatory you take the money out at 59.5, or 401k, which is 62 or 65, you are able to take your money out at any age you want. So at age 57, she can take out $85,000. All right. She can wait to age 62. She could wait to age 70. All right. The IUL gives you flexibility to make those decisions. All right. You make the decision on when you actually want to begin withdrawing your accumulation to live off of tax-free. All right. That's very, very important to understand. Now, you also can make one-time withdrawals. If you do it within the first 10 years, there's a 4% fee, not a penalty, a fee. So if you take out $1,000, all right, that's going to be a $40 fee. After year 10, there are no fees to do so. So let's just say in year 15, well, let's just say year 11, you want to take out $10,000 to for a down payment on a house or purchase a car, or you need something for your business, whatever the case is. All right. You can do that with no hiccups. Do you owe the money back? No. Can you put it back in? Sure. Yes, you can. Okay. Does your money, does your interest still grow if the money is in there? Yes. All right. Now, again, if we just go with the typical retirement age with $300 per month, and at age 65, she would have roughly about $180,000 to live off of tax-free. All right. Again, you get to make the decision. Do you want to do it at age 65, 67? If I know in this particular example, Crystal waits an extra 2 years, she'll gain about an extra $40,000 in accumulation, which is huge. All right. So again, you get to make those decisions, that's great. All right. You get a lot of control and a lot of flexibility with your money. All right. Policy day is when your IUL is actually approved and you will receive your policy. So let's talk about what the next steps are. All right. If you're interested in what your IUL numbers will look like, whether it be for yourself, for your children, whoever. All right. If you want to know what those numbers look like, then I need you to email us at iul@urbanmoney.org. Again, the email address is iul@urbanmoney.org. It costs you absolutely nothing to find out what your numbers are. Inside the email, here's what we need. We need your name, date of birth, your phone number, state you live in, whether you're a male or female, the amount per month that you want to invest, and the best time to contact you. Let me say that again. We need your name, date of birth, phone number, state you live in, whether you are a male or female, amount per month, and the best time to contact you. All right. And either you'll speak to myself or one of the representatives at Urban Money. We will contact you so that we can go over your numbers. We will email you your illustration so we can go over that together. And then from there, we can go forward. Again, it's important that you give me that exact information so that we can get your specific IUL numbers. And based on what you see, you may want to increase, maybe you want to decrease and work your way up. It's a lot of different ways to go about that process. All right. Again, the biggest thing is getting started. Once we get started, prepare for about a 3 to 4 week process. There are a lot of different carriers that the IUL can go through. All IULs are not created equal. So it just depends on what your situation is, what it is that you're trying to accomplish that will then dictate on where we will place your IUL for this money growth program. Okay. So you have reached the end of this class. I look forward to either myself or again, an Urban Money representative. Look forward to speaking with you, talking to you, helping you getting started, helping you grow your money compound interest tax-free. Again, email us at iul@urbanmoney.org. Put your information in. You can also put in any other questions that you have. We would definitely love to speak with you, work with you, and help you get started. So again, that concludes this class, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good one.